Your slow metabolism isn't genetic. It's a scar, a wound left behind by every crash diet, every calorie restriction, every desperate attempt to lose weight by eating less and less until your body learned to survive on almost nothing. And here's the cruel irony. The slower your metabolism gets, the more visceral fat you accumulate. Not subcutaneous fat that you can pinch, visceral fat. The dangerous kind that wraps around your organs, disrupts your hormones, and increases your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and early death. Most people think a slow metabolism is a life sentence, that they're genetically cursed to gain weight easily and lose it slowly. But that's not true. Your metabolism is not fixed. It's adaptive. It responds to the signals you send it every single day. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to repair a damaged metabolism and eliminate visceral fat at the same time. Not by eating less, not by doing more cardio, but by doing the exact opposite of what you've been told. But first, you need to understand why your metabolism slowed down in the first place, because if you don't fix the root cause, nothing else will work. When people talk about metabolism, they're usually talking about something called your basal metabolic rate, or BMR. This is the number of calories your body burns at rest just to keep you alive, breathing, pumping blood, regulating temperature, repairing cells. All of this requires energy. Your BMR accounts for about 60 to 70% of the total calories you burn in a day. The rest comes from physical activity and something called the thermic effect of food, which is the energy required to digest and process what you eat. Now, here's what most people don't understand. Your metabolism is not a fixed number, it's dynamic. It adapts based on how much you eat, how much muscle you have, your hormone levels, your sleep quality, and your stress levels. When you go on a calorie-restricted diet, especially a severe one, your body interprets it as a famine, a threat to survival. And it does exactly what evolution programmed it to do. It slows down your metabolism to conserve energy. It does this in several ways. First, it reduces thyroid hormone production. Thyroid hormones, T3 and T4, are the master regulators of metabolic rate. When they drop, your entire metabolism downshifts. Second, it increases cortisol, which breaks down muscle tissue, and muscle is metabolically expensive. Every pound of muscle you lose reduces your BMR by about 50 calories per day. Third, it reduces something called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is all the movement you do throughout the day that isn't formal exercise. Fidgeting, walking around your house, gesturing when you talk. When your body is trying to conserve energy, it subconsciously reduces NEAT. You move less without even realizing it. This is called metabolic adaptation, and it's why people can eat 1,200 calories per day and still not lose weight. Their metabolism has adapted to match their intake. They've trained their body to survive on very little. But here's where it gets worse. When your metabolism slows down, your body becomes more efficient at storing fat, and the first place it stores that fat is around your organs, visceral fat. Why? Because when your body thinks resources are scarce, it prioritizes storing energy close to your vital organs, where it can be accessed quickly. Visceral fat is your body's emergency fuel tank, and a slow metabolism is a signal that emergencies are constant. So you end up in a vicious cycle. You eat less to lose weight, your metabolism slows down, you lose muscle, your body stores more visceral fat. You eat even less, your metabolism slows down further. You become exhausted, hungry, and stuck. Most people at this point think the solution is to eat even less or do more cardio, but that's like pouring gasoline on a fire. You're adding more stress to an already stressed system. The real solution is to reverse the damage, to speed up your metabolism so that your body feels safe burning visceral fat instead of hoarding it. And to do that, you need to understand the 3 metabolic levers that control how fast you burn calories. I'm going to walk you through all 3, but there's one lever that almost no one talks about, and it's the reason most people stay stuck even when they're lifting weights and eating more protein. The first lever is muscle mass. This is the foundation of metabolic health. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. It burns calories 24 hours a day, even when you're sleeping. Fat tissue, on the other hand, is metabolically inert. It just sits there. This is why 2 people of the same weight can have completely different metabolic rates. The person with more muscle burns more calories at rest. But here's the problem. When you go on a calorie-restricted diet, especially if you're not doing resistance training, you lose muscle along with fat, and every pound of muscle you lose reduces your BMR by about 50 calories per day. The solution is heavy resistance training, not light weights for high reps, not yoga or Pilates, heavy compound lifts that force your body to build and maintain muscle tissue. Squats, deadlifts, presses, rows. When you lift heavy, you send a powerful signal to your body that muscle is essential for survival. Your body responds by prioritizing muscle retention and growth, even in a calorie deficit.
But building muscle requires raw materials, specifically protein. Protein is the most thermogenic macronutrient. This means it requires more energy to digest than carbs or fat. About 25 to 30% of the calories in protein are burned just processing it. Compare that to carbs, which burn about 5 to 10%, and fat, which burns about 0 to 3%. When you eat a high-protein diet, you naturally increase your metabolic rate just through digestion. Plus, protein supports muscle repair and growth, which further increases your BMR. The protocol is simple. Aim for 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. Spread it across 3 to 4 meals. Prioritize whole sources like meat, fish, eggs, and dairy. But building muscle takes time. You're not going to reverse years of metabolic damage in 2 weeks. This is a long-term strategy. Lift heavy 3 to 4 times per week. Eat enough protein. Be patient. Over 6 to 12 months, your metabolism will gradually increase as you build muscle and lose fat. The second lever is NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and this is the most underestimated factor in metabolic health. NEAT accounts for anywhere from 15 to 30% of your total daily energy expenditure. For some people, it's even higher. NEAT includes all the movement you do outside of formal exercise. Walking to your car, taking the stairs, cleaning your house, typing on your keyboard, fidgeting, even standing instead of sitting. Here's the shocking part. NEAT can vary by as much as 2,000 calories per day between 2 people of the same size. One person might naturally move more throughout the day, burning hundreds of extra calories without even thinking about it. Another person might sit for 12 hours straight and burn almost nothing. And when your metabolism is slow, your body subconsciously reduces NEAT to conserve energy. You sit more, you take the elevator instead of the stairs, you drive instead of walk, you feel lethargic and unmotivated to move. Your body is trying to protect you from starvation by reducing energy output. The solution is to consciously increase NEAT. Set a step goal. Aim for 8,000 to 10,000 steps per day. This doesn't have to be formal walking. It can be broken up throughout the day. Walk while you take phone calls. Park farther away from entrances. Take the stairs. Stand while you work. Use a standing desk or a treadmill desk. Pace while you think. Fidget. Move your hands when you talk. All of this adds up. Studies show that increasing NEAT by just 200 to 300 calories per day can be the difference between maintaining weight and losing visceral fat over time. And unlike formal exercise, NEAT doesn't spike cortisol or create additional stress. It's low-intensity movement that signals safety to your nervous system while burning calories in the background. The third lever is reverse dieting, and this is the strategy that almost no one talks about, even though it's the most important for people with damaged metabolisms.
If you've been eating 1,200 or 1,500 calories for months or years, your metabolism has adapted to that intake. Your thyroid hormones are suppressed, your NEAT is low, your body is in survival mode. The instinct is to keep eating low calories and try to force fat loss through willpower, but that doesn't work. You've already adapted. Your body has no reason to burn fat because it thinks food is scarce. The solution is counterintuitive. You need to eat more. Not all at once, which would cause rapid fat gain, but gradually. This is called reverse dieting. Here's how it works. You slowly increase your calorie intake over a period of weeks or months, giving your metabolism time to adapt upward. You add 50 to 100 calories per week, primarily from carbs and fats, while keeping protein high. As you eat more, your thyroid function improves. Your NEAT increases because you have more energy. Your muscle building capacity improves because you're not in a constant deficit. And your body stops hoarding visceral fat because it no longer perceives scarcity. Yes, you might gain a small amount of weight initially, but most of that weight will be glycogen and water, not fat. And once your metabolism has recovered, you'll be able to lose visceral fat while eating significantly more food than you were before. This is what metabolic health looks like. The ability to eat 2,000 or 2,500 or 3,000 calories per day and maintain a lean body composition because your metabolism is fast enough to burn that energy. Reverse dieting takes patience. It can take 3 to 6 months to fully repair a damaged metabolism, but it's the only way to break free from the cycle of eating less and less while gaining more and more visceral fat. But even if you're doing all 3 of these strategies perfectly, there's one factor that will sabotage your metabolism no matter what you eat or how much you exercise. And it's not food, it's sleep. Sleep is the foundation of metabolic health. One night of sleep deprivation can reduce your insulin sensitivity by up to 40%. It increases cortisol, which breaks down muscle and promotes visceral fat storage. It decreases leptin, your satiety hormone, and increases ghrelin, your hunger hormone. This is why you crave junk food after a bad night of sleep. Your hormones are dysregulated. Chronic sleep deprivation also suppresses thyroid function. Your body interprets lack of sleep as a stressor, and it downshifts your metabolism to conserve energy. Studies show that people who sleep less than 6 hours per night have significantly slower metabolic rates than people who sleep 7 to 9 hours, even when controlling for diet and exercise.
The protocol is non-negotiable. 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night in a cool, dark room. Consistent sleep and wake times, even on weekends. No screens 1 hour before bed. No caffeine after 2 p.m. If your sleep is broken or poor quality, your metabolism will never fully recover, no matter how perfectly you eat or train. And here's the final piece that ties everything together. The one mistake that keeps people stuck, even when they're lifting weights, walking more, eating enough protein, and sleeping well. Your metabolism doesn't just respond to what you eat and how you move. It responds to how you eat, specifically meal frequency and meal timing. For years, people were told to eat 6 small meals per day to stoke the metabolic fire. But that's a myth. Meal frequency has almost no impact on total daily energy expenditure. What matters is total protein intake and total calorie intake over the course of the day. But here's what does matter. Eating too infrequently can suppress your metabolism, especially if you're already metabolically damaged. If you're eating 1 meal per day or fasting for 20 hours, your body may interpret that as scarcity and downshift your thyroid and NEAT. The sweet spot for most people is 3 to 4 meals per day, spaced evenly, with each meal containing at least 25 to 40 grams of protein. This keeps muscle protein synthesis elevated throughout the day, supports thyroid function, and prevents the energy crashes that lead to reduced NEAT. And timing matters. Eating a high-protein breakfast within 1 to 2 hours of waking sends a powerful signal of abundance to your body. It kickstarts your metabolism for the day and prevents the cortisol spike that happens when you skip breakfast and drink coffee on an empty stomach. Let me give you the complete protocol in one place.
First, build muscle through heavy resistance training 3 to 4 times per week. Focus on compound movements. Lift heavy for low to moderate reps. This is the foundation of a fast metabolism. Second, eat enough protein. 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight per day spread across 3 to 4 meals. Protein builds muscle, increases the thermic effect of food, and supports metabolic hormones. Third, increase NEAT. Aim for 8,000 to 10,000 steps per day. Stand more, move more, fidget, take the stairs. Low-intensity movement burns calories without adding stress. Fourth, reverse diet if you've been eating low calories for a long time. Slowly increase your intake by 50 to 100 calories per week until you reach a maintenance level where your weight stabilizes. This resets your thyroid, increases NEAT, and restores metabolic flexibility. Fifth, prioritize sleep. 7 to 9 hours per night in a cool, dark room. Consistent schedule. No screens before bed. Sleep is when your metabolism resets and your hormones rebalance. Sixth, eat 3 to 4 meals per day with protein at each meal. Don't skip breakfast. Don't fast for extended periods if your metabolism is already slow. Give your body consistent signals of abundance. When you combine these 6 strategies, you create a metabolic environment where visceral fat cannot survive. Your metabolism speeds up, your thyroid function improves, your muscle mass increases, your NEAT goes up naturally because you have more energy, and your body stops hoarding visceral fat because it no longer perceives scarcity or threat. This is not a quick fix. Repairing a damaged metabolism takes time, 3 to 6 months minimum. But once you've rebuilt your metabolic machinery, fat loss becomes effortless. You'll be able to eat more food, have more energy, and maintain a lean body composition without constant dieting or cardio. A slow metabolism is not a curse, it's a symptom of years of undereating, overexercising, poor sleep, and chronic stress, and every symptom has a root cause. When you address the cause, the symptom disappears. Your metabolism is not broken, it's adaptive. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do, respond to the environment you create. When you create an environment of abundance, safety, and strength, your metabolism speeds up. When you create an environment of scarcity, stress, and muscle loss, your metabolism slows down. The choice is yours. You can keep eating less and less, doing more and more cardio, and watching your metabolism slow to a crawl while visceral fat accumulates. Or you can do the opposite. Eat more, lift heavy, move more throughout the day, sleep deeply, and watch your metabolism roar back to life. When your metabolism is fast, visceral fat has nowhere to hide. Your body burns it for fuel because it no longer needs it as an emergency reserve. Eliminate visceral fat by speeding up your metabolism, not by eating less, by eating smarter, moving better, and giving your body permission to thrive.